Hey y'all, it's Mama Horror Lord. Welcome to my channel. Today, we're gonna read some spooky Reddit stories. These are ghost stories that people have submitted to some of these subreddits like Paranormal Encounters, telling about their experiences. I love the paranormal. I've always been really into it. I've had a lot of experiences. I've always been drawn to it. And so today we're gonna hear about other people who have had to deal with these things. All right, let's go. I'm going to start off with Little Ghost Boy. Diamond 1998 says, this was back in 2010, 2011. It was only my 10-year-old brother and I home. I was playing most fun games in our dining room / computer room and drinking pop out of my mom's vintage Coke glass. I love those Coke glasses. Those are so awesome. I accidentally dropped it and broke. It broke. And my mom was prone to exploding. Ugh, that's no fun. I broke mine too. My brother suggested we clean up the house and maybe she won't be as mad. Right? I agreed because I definitely would be getting all her anger from the day. I told her to go clean up our small bathroom while I tackled the dining room where I broke the glass. Now, to understand the layout, if you walk in the front door, you're in the dining room. Front room to your left, computer and dining to your right. In front of you is the kitchen. And through the kitchen, to your left, is our bathroom. The stairs that led to the second floor was in the front room right around the corner. As I was cleaning up that glass, I heard running from the kitchen, right by me. And when I looked up, I saw my brother run up the stairs. I heard the footsteps all the way up. I seen him run by me and around the corner. I yelled up and said, Dustin, what are you doing? I thought you said we should clean. And my brother popped his head out from the bathroom and said, I am cleaning. My heart dropped because I know for a fact no one else was home. I asked him if he heard the footsteps going upstairs and he said, yeah, I thought it was you. I told him that I had in fact not went upstairs. I hadn't even left the dining room. We carefully went up the stairs. I had brought a kitchen knife with me and we searched all 3 rooms, closets, and everything. Nobody was up there. What I thought was my brother was not my brother and wasn't even a real person because I know what I saw. And that was a little boy run around the corner and run up the stairs. Yikes. That sounds kind of terrifying. Now, I just want to know, was it, like, did they see, actually, like, did it look like their little brother? Or did it just look like a little boy? Like any little boy? And they just assumed it was their brother because it was the only little boy that was supposed to be home. Because doppelgangers are a thing and they're kind of terrifying. They're never a good omen. They're never a good thing. So I was just really curious. And I've gone through the comments. We've got a couple of different people who've shared different experiences too, but I am not seeing where they're confirming or denying whether or not that was, like, it actually looked like their brother or was just a random boy. This is a fairly new post, so I'll probably stick a comment on there myself and ask, and we'll update you guys if I get an answer. Okay. Moving on. All right, this one is by ThinkWorker2446 and is also another one from Paranormal Encounters, the subreddit. Till this day, I still had no idea who she was. Yikes. Yikes. A fair warning before I start. English isn't my first language, so expect some grammatical errors. Darling, it's gonna be fine, okay? For some of us, English is our first language, and we're still terrible at it. So I'm impressed that you learned it as a second language. So bring it. Come on. It's fine. It's cool. We're good. Also, this is going to be a very long story. Okay. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Let's buckle up. Let's buckle in. Let's get to the most crucial part of the story. I'm from Southeast Asia, Indonesia to be exact. In Indonesia, especially in secluded areas or villages, old-time beliefs are still very much alive. By old-time beliefs, I mean things like shamans, black magic, obsessions, etc. Cool. Love that stuff. These topics are extremely common here. Heck, even the police sometimes rely on ghost possessions to solve murder cases. There's a cold case that got reopened involving a girl named Vina who was murdered. Her spirit supposedly latched onto her best friend and told police everything. That's so cool. Okay, I mean, it's not cool that she was murdered, but like, that's really cool that she came back to be like, I'm gonna get my justice. Watch me get my justice. I love that. Some Indonesians, especially the modern generation, laugh at this because, haha, it's 2024 and the police still believe in that stuff? Well, I mean, if it ends up coming up legit, if they actually did catch this murderer and ended up finding evidence to put him away, yeah, why wouldn't you believe in that? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you use every resource that follows through? It's also pretty common here for people to visit witch doctors to get rich, find love, or stay young. Sounds like the witch doctors are getting rich. In fact, I know more than 5 people who have visited a well-known witch doctor. That's cool. With these examples, you can get an idea of how many Indonesians feel about paranormal topics. Not everyone, but some. Cool. So some are believers, some aren't. Alright, with that out of the way, here's the actual story. Kitty, 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 kitty. Let me just go down. Kitty, kitty, kitty. I met a girl named Leela in my freshman year of school. She's cheerful and nice, extremely sweet to me, and we eventually became best friends. We always sat together, told stories, went on weekends. Typical teenage stuff. Fast forward 3 years. We're in our senior year together. We came up with a plan to have a sleepover at her house. Here's the thing. Leela's house is pretty far from school, in a village. It's not a permanent village. They have water, internet, phones, Wi-Fi, etc. But the travel time from the city where I live and where our school is to her place takes hours. So it's way, way out there. We have to go through long roads surrounded by trees. But hey, it's our senior year, and this might be the last time we see each other before college, so why not? We agreed that I'd visit her on Wednesday. I still remember the date. 2017, 6/7. She clearly told me to come before Maghrib. I hope I said that right. If you don't know, Maghrib prayer is one of the 5 mandatory prayers in Islam said after sunset. If I'm wrong, forgive me, I'm not Muslim, same. But coming from one of the biggest Muslim countries, I know the basics. Maghrib time, after sunset, is often associated with ghosts. Many mothers tell their children to come home before Maghrib because it's believed ghosts roam among the living during that time. Again, I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. At that time, I had no idea why she said that. But being young and dumb, I just nodded. When the day came, I asked my father to take me to Leela's house, and he agreed. But we hit a small problem. We got stuck in traffic for so long, and we weren't even halfway there yet. Yikes, that sucks. To cut the story short, we finally reached the village entry, though it still needed a few more minutes to get to the actual village. At the entry, I remember there were 2 separate roads, the right road and the left road, with this huge tree. To make it even creepier, it was already dark outside. There were no buildings or village houses nearby yet, and the only light source was from my car lights. The only sound was my car too. This tree I'm talking about, in Indonesia, we call it beringin, but in English it's referred to as a banyan tree. If you want to see how big that tree is, I suggest you Google it and you'll understand what I mean when I say the tree is low-key scary, especially in the dark. Okay, hold on, let me look this up here. Oh, that's gorgeous. But yeah, that would totally be creepy in the dark. In Indonesia, the banyan tree is also associated with ghosts and paranormal activities, mainly because of its huge branches and all. I mean, well, yeah, I can see that. Continuing with the story, we ended up choosing the left road because Leela had told me before that the way to her village is to take the left road, the one with the tree. I swear the ride from that point on felt longer than the traffic earlier, which was odd because Leela said from that tree it should only take about 20 minutes to reach the village houses, but it took longer than that. At that time, I didn't think much of it, so I just played with my phone, letting my father drive. Just why is his taking so long? A few minutes later, he asked me something quite weird. How many banyan trees did we have to pass? At that point, I was as confused as my dad. Leela told me there would only be one banyan tree, but according to my dad, we had passed the same tree more than 4 times. That's why he asked me for clarification. I told him there's only one banyan tree we should be passing. He stayed quiet for several minutes. Extremely quiet. Then he suddenly told me to start praying. I was extremely confused, but I did as I was told. I come from a religious family, so that explains his reaction. That's kind of terrifying. So they're driving in the middle of the night, to the middle of nowhere, passing this tree that's supposed to be associated with the paranormal, with spirits, and you're passing the same tree over and over and over and over again. For no reason. And now your dad just says, start praying. No, why? Why? Okay. Thank goodness, after I finished praying, it took only about 15 minutes for us to finally reach the village. Finally. We started seeing the houses, not at all. To make this quick, I arrived in front of Leela's house and knocked on her door. When she opened, she was very surprised to see me, but not in a good way. I could understand why. Remember when Leela said to come before Maghrib? Well, it was already past Maghrib. Heck, it was nighttime already. She let me in because there was no way she would tell me to go back. Now, this is where the real horror starts. I don't like that. I'm already passing the never-ending tree. Hell, I can still feel the fear as I'm writing this. I'll definitely need to sleep with the light on tonight. That bad, just remembering it, yikes. I remember her house wasn't as big or as luxurious as others I've been to. It was small, but comforting, and it felt extremely warm inside. I love those houses, just nice and cozy. She showed me the bedroom and helped me put my stuff away, yada yada yada. Finally, we decided to watch some TV. A little note, she was home alone that night, before I came, of course. After a while, she told me she'd go check the kitchen for some snacks. Snacks. I nodded and sat there, switching channels on the TV. This is the part that sends chills down my spine, and I will never forget that day. She took a very long time in the kitchen. I was wondering what was taking her so long, but after a few minutes, she came back. I noticed something off about her. Her hair was a bit messier, and she looked different. Paler? I don't know how to describe her expression. Anyway, she sat down next to me without saying anything and didn't bring any snacks as she promised. So I was like, where's the snacks? You promised to bring some. That's what you're going in for, right? She looked at me and smiled while nodding her head in an odd manner before patting her stomach. No, don't do that. Don't do that. I was like, you ate the snacks without me? She just smiled again and looked at the TV without saying anything. Creepy. I don't like that. Creepy. At that time, we were watching a quiz show where the winner gets to take home a lot of money. I want to win one of those. Why can't I ever win one of those? I mean, I guess I have to go on them first, but that's besides the point. Just give me money, right? Off track. Where'd the train go? Okay, we're back here. There was nothing funny happening, but Leela suddenly turned to me and laughed. It was harmless. It was a harmless, soft little laugh. Just he was wondering why she was laughing because nothing peculiarly was happening in the show. She was usually a very serious person and didn't laugh at movies much. But then she suddenly stopped laughing and looked back at the screen. She's just like no. No thank you. No thank you. I don't like that. That's scary. A few minutes later, she looked at me again and laughed, louder this time. I was so confused, so I asked her what was wrong, but she didn't say anything. She just kept laughing and looking at me, and then back at the screen, and then at me again, and then the TV. She continued doing that for several minutes, so I just laughed along with her, thinking she was being goofy. Your friend is creeping me out, man. Then she stood up from the sofa and stood in front of me, blocking my view of the TV. I gently pushed her away with my feet, asking her to move. But then, while still laughing, she did the wheel pose right in front of me, still facing me. If you don't know what the wheel pose is, I suggest you Google it. Alright, I can do that. Wheel pose. Okay. So, like, that's some typical horror film crap right there. I remember feeling weirded out and confused. I wasn't scared at that time because I didn't really believe in ghosts or possession. So I asked her why she was doing it. Why are you doing that? Holding a nervous laugh myself. I really wanted to capture a video of her, but then she walked away to the kitchen, still in that position and still laughing. Oh, that is some horror movie shit. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Make it stop. The kitchen was dark, and from the living room, you couldn't see inside. The last thing I heard was her faded laughter before complete silence. I remember waiting there for 5 or 10 minutes before standing up to check on her. Suddenly, my phone rang in my pocket, so I picked it up. When I saw the name, I was even more puzzled because it said Leela was calling me. It's the same Leela who, like, backwards freaking wheel posed, walked while laughing into the... Okay. So I yelled out loud, asking her why she was calling me when I was right there and she was in the kitchen. She could have just come and told me. So I picked it up, and the voice on the other end was indeed Leela's. She asked if I could open the gate in front of her house to let her in, since she was on her motorcycle and too lazy to get down. I asked her what she meant by that, and how she got out so quickly. She sounded clueless, and said she didn't understand what I was talking about. Just open the gate, since I'm already close by. So I did. Still confused, I went out and opened the gate as Leela came in, holding bags of snacks. I told her the story about her crawling to the kitchen and all that, and she told me a completely different story from her point of view. Let's rewind to the part where she went to the kitchen to grab some snacks. According to my point of view, as you just read, I was switching channels while waiting for her to get back to the kitchen, right? But according to her, after she went into the kitchen and found no snacks, she decided to buy some from a nearby store. As she walked out of the kitchen, she saw me sitting on the sofa, staring blankly at the TV. When she asked what snacks I wanted, and if I wanted to come along, I just stared at the TV and shook my head in silence. And that's why she left alone to get some snacks. Don't like it. But I told her she never asked me that, and I never stared blankly at the TV. The first time I saw her was when she walked out and sat down. In the end, we checked the kitchen and found nothing. No sign of breaking in, nothing. To this day, we promised not to talk about it again, and we are still friends till now. But to this day, I'm still asking myself, if the real Leela was the one who asked me to open the gate, then who was the one sitting with me for over an hour? My friends that have been told about this story said that it was something to do with the banyan tree and how maybe there is a ghost there, and it followed me all the way because I did come after my crib. And not listening to Leela's words at all. But I don't know. I forgot to add this. But many people that heard this story would often come with 3 main questions. I'm assuming that you do too. So I might just answer the questions in case you've been wondering all the same. Question 1, is this village real? Is this village still accessible? Yes, the village is real and it is still accessible till this day. The last time I heard about this village was around 2022. I heard the village had received many improvements from buildings, infrastructure, and economy. Oh, get it. Awesome. That's awesome. Question number 2. Teju and Leela still talk about this? Yes, we do, even though it's not as much how we used to back then. Where's the village located? As for this question, I cannot give you the specific location of the village due to privacy reasoning and my promise to Leela. However, what she allowed me to say is that this village is one of the villages located in central Java, Indonesia. Wow. What was I just saying about doppelgangers with the last story? That is creepy. That is really creepy. And the thing about doppelgangers is they never look quite right. Like he's like they said, they couldn't describe the expression. A lot of times when people talk about doppelgangers and interacting with them, they don't talk a whole lot. And she didn't talk a lot. They just laughed. They don't always move properly. Like the creepy freaking wheel pose walk. Like who, why, what? And there's something off. There's always just something obviously off. Sometimes you can't put your finger on it, and sometimes it's obvious. With this one, they were paler, the hair was messy, and the expression was just indescribable. It was off, though. It wasn't right. Definitely a doppelganger, definitely creepy. And I do think it probably is connected to that banyan tree. I don't know anything about banyan tree lore. If you do, drop it in the comments. I would love to know. But yeah, I mean, you passed the same tree like 4 times. It had to have been something to do with that. If it was only supposed to be there once on the way. Yeah, so that's creepy. I don't know if I like that. Let's check out the comments. You told this version of your experience in such a fantastic yet frightening way in English so well that I had goosebumps for you and felt as though I was there watching through your eyes. So very well done. I offer nothing but to say I believe you and send a hug to give you peace. That is from Enough Minute 8658. Yeah, it was really well written. I really enjoyed reading that. Yeah, it was definitely awesome. Sneck7273 says, really great story. So the only thing that kind of sticks out to me, honest question here, why would Leela go willingly to get snacks after Maghrib if she was so against being out after that point? Did she ever provide a reason as to why she suddenly felt okay to leave after that point? OP responded, she told me that it's okay for you to roam around the village before and after Maghrib. The store she went to is also located inside the village. However, it's not okay for visitors like me, who are not originally from the village, to visit the village after Maghrib. She said it might have something to do with the huge banyan tree at the village entrance. She also said that perhaps the reason that thing followed me is because I didn't follow her warning at first, and she believed I had disrupted the thing from the tree. Now, as for the reason why visitors like me aren't allowed to visit the village after Maghrib is something that she never explained, but I think that thing just hates visitors in general. Talk about introvert ghost. I don't know, it's coming and laughing at you and being really creepy seems kind of extroverted to me. I'm kind of introverted myself, and yeah, I'm not doing that. That's weird, that's creepy. Sinking duck floats. Asks, what happened to Dad? Did he just vanish? Did he drive for hours back home in the middle of the haunted night? And OP said, yep, he drove back home after that. I asked if he encountered anything weird, and he said he didn't. Lucky him. Yeah. So yeah, another doppelganger one. That one's not fun. No. That's so creepy. Can you just imagine though, just sitting there? No. Please, no, never, no. Oh my gosh. Okay. That was a pretty long story. I think we're gonna wrap it up for right now. If you enjoyed it, or if it creeped the bejesus out of you, but you want to hear more, drop a like, hit subscribe, come back and hang out with me. It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. I'll be doing more of these. If you have any stories, feel free to drop those too. I may have made a subreddit of my own. It's just r/Mama Horrorlord. I'll put it in the description. Bring your stories there too. It doesn't just have to be ghosting. It can be anything. Petty, revenge, drama, am I the a-hole? Whatever you want to bring it on in. I want it all. I would love to just sit here and chit chat with you about all of this stuff. It'd be fantastic. Hope you can sleep tonight. Hope you don't see any doppelgangers. Just remember, if somebody calls your name and nobody's home, don't answer. Okay, thank you, bye.